You go on the street, say Orobo, Woki, that means tick tick. I had all sort of funny names from people who never met me, from people who were seeing me from the very first time. Everybody just had something to say about my stature. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What I'm going to be talking about today is serious. It's probably going to make me vulnerable a bit. It's personal and it's very realistic. And this is why I'm wearing camo, because this topic is very, very important. And y'all that are like watchers that are like, hey, you don't get to wear camo if you're not in the army in Nigeria. Duh. I wear camo because I live in the US and wearing camo is allowed. So, y'all, disclaimer. First off, I would like to say that my eyes are seeing shege. If you're in Nigeria, you'd understand that shege means hell. My eyes are seeing shaky. I've been through a lot, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to make this video for people that are probably in my shoes or in tighter shoes than mine. But not to worry, everything is gonna be fine. I decided to make this topic navigating the struggles of being fat in Nigeria. I chose fat intentionally and not plus size because I have people that have at different times said, don't say plus size. Plus size is just a way to cover up your fatness, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, if that's what makes you happy, then accept it. Fat. I'm fat. Are you happy now? Alright. I think I'm gonna start by going to a backstory, but definitely it's gonna be worth it. So if you're in a position, if you're plus size and you live in Nigeria, this video is a must watch for you. And if you are not plus sized, you have a family or a close friend that is plus sized that lives in Nigeria, this video is a must watch for you. And if you're not plus sized, you don't live in Nigeria, but you are one of the people that are slim and you talk down on plus size people, this video is also for you. So I hope you get the very best from this video. So I'm a Nigerian by birth and I live in the United States. I'm a resident in the United States. I live in New York to be precise. And I remember the very first time I stepped into the US. I had to stay with one of my aunties or one of my aunts, and her husband made a statement. He was like, you can never be too fat in the US. And that was so funny to me because I was like, I mean, I'm from Nigeria, you can't be too fat. And he's like, no, you can never be too fat in the US because you would always see someone fatter than you are. That seemed like a joke at first, but I think the more I lived in the US, it became realer to me. And I was like, oh really? You would always find someone fatter than the fattest person you think you have seen. And this is not to shade any fat person because of course I'm fat, but it's just to explain the difference in environments, especially the US and Nigeria. Now back home in Nigeria, if you are over 160 pounds, what am I saying? If you're like 150 pounds, that's about 70 kg in Nigeria, you are fat. And that's the fact. If you are like 150 pounds, you are fat in Nigeria. And so there's this constant struggle for almost every lady in Nigeria, almost every lady, to think they are overweight, they are too chubby, they need to cut down on carbs, they need to eat less, because there's this physique, this unrealistic fairy tale physique that we have painted for ourselves in Nigeria to be as an ideal woman, and the struggle continues, right? I'm personally tall. I'm 5'11", and I say 5'10.5", so it's in between 5'10" and 5'11", so I could pass for a 5'10", I could pass for a 5'11", so I like to say I'm 5'11", and I'm curvy, I'm shapy, I have a slimmer waist, and you know, any plus size person that is tall that has a slimmer waist, even if you're not so tall, that has a slimmer waist, you tend to have like a very curvy and shapy stature. And so due to this, I have a lot of people walk up to me and say, oh my God, I love your type of fatness. Oh my God, I love your shape. I love how curvy you are. And I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. In as much as this is very good and I love the compliment, I'm also not insensitive to realize that there are different body types and body shapes or body forms. There are people that are hourglass, which I am. There are people that are triangular. There are people that are rectangular. There are people that are like spoon-sized. There are people that are apple or pear-shaped. Because they do not have slimmer waists, do not mean their statures in entirety or total is bad. In as much as I love the compliments, like, hey, you're shapy, you're curvy, some people do not have my body types. But they don't have my body type, but they're also plus sized, they're also fat, and they think they do not look good. I'm here to tell you that you look very good. The first thing about looking good is you knowing that you look good. And that's the fact. So I said it earlier, and I'm going to be going into a backstory about how I became fat, and how I became obese, or this stature, or plus size, whatever language, whatever adjective you'd like to use. I know I'm beautiful, so now let's go into it. So I was born in Nigeria. Like I said earlier, I'm Nigerian by birth. And when you're born in Nigeria, of course, your weight is checked as a baby. I think people do it in other countries too, but I'm very sure of that of Nigeria. And I was 4.2 at birth. You know what that means, right? I was really overweight at birth. And I know you're gonna ask me, how do you know that? You were not there, you were so small. So my dad is a medical practitioner and he tells me stories. My mom tells me stories too. So he had the record because of course he's a medical practitioner and he had to know what's up with his baby girl. So I was 4.2 at birth. And I know some people might think, oh, your mom ate a lot of junk while she was pregnant. That's why. She needs to watch it. Every pregnant woman has to watch it. Hello, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. My mom always had complications during pregnancy and she was never able to eat what she really wanted to eat. My mom is fair in complexion, she's light skinned. Whenever she's pregnant, she gets very dark. Whenever she's pregnant, she loses a lot of weight because she loses her appetite completely and she has to eat unconventional foods just because she has to survive. Because many of the conventional foods or foods, nice foods, junks, desserts, all of that never makes sense to her. And I witnessed the pregnancy of the baby after me. That's my younger sister, so I know what I'm saying. And so she didn't eat a lot of junks. That wasn't what made me big. I think it was just my uniqueness at birth. Really, deal with that if you don't believe it. So I was 4.2 from birth, and that tells you that I was always an overweight child right from birth. And I had to grow up with that. I mean, growing up in Nigeria, if you see someone plus size or fat, there's a slang they say orobo. Orobo became like my second name. I had to accept it. It's like you go on the street, say orobo. That was when I was much younger, right? Orobo, boki, that means tick. I had all sort of funny names from people who never met me, from people who were seeing me from the very first time. Everybody just had something to say about my stature, and it wasn't the easiest. I mean, getting into a room filled with people and everyone or almost everyone turns their heads to spot you because you're unique and you're different. And I had to live with that growing up. At first I was very uncomfortable. I always wanted to I wished many times that I was slim and I was unnoticeable when I entered the crowd. The soon I accepted that, Ayo, this is you need to accept it, I became more comfortable in my skin, and at some point I started getting proud, and I mean it, because I got overconfident and proud, when I go into the room, heads roll, and that's a period. But I wasn't doing that from a place of accepting my body. I was only doing that as a coping mechanism. I was forming tough skin on the outside, but deep down within, some of those words got to me. I changed my high school at some point, and when I went to my new high school, I got a new name, and the new name was Ayo Ikebe. If you're watching this video and you're from my high school, you know what I'm talking about. And Ayo Ikebe means Ayo with the big backside. You know what that means? And that was so uncomfortable for me at first, like going in school and everybody calls you like the girl with the big backside. It kind of drew attention to me a lot. I remember particularly one time my dad came for open day. If you grew up in Nigeria, you know that many schools, high schools have open day. Open day is when like your parents come to your school, they see how you're performing academically, they know what you're doing right, they know your scores, they follow up on your exams and tests and all of that. They get remarks from your teachers if you're good, if you're troublesome, playful and all of that. And my dad came to my school for open day and he asked two people differently, like, I'm looking here, I'm here to see Ayomi Adeniji, and I think the two people didn't know who Ayomi Adeniji was, and I think the third person was like, oh, you mean Ayo Ikebe? And I was like, my daughter is not Ayo Ikebe, that's not last name. And he's like, not last name, Ayo with the backside, like that's what we call her. And my dad called me when they found me. My dad was like, wait, what's your name in school? What's your name at school? And I was like, Ayo Ikebe. And I'm like, what? Who did you do that? And I was like, my classmates, and almost everybody knows me with that. And he's like, so he got home that day and laughed, told my mom about it, and even at home my parents jokingly called me that, like, you're blessed with backside. I mean, so I'm just trying to tell you, like, at different points how I've gotten different names, apart from the first name that I have, which is Ayomide, and I had to like live with it. Now, after my I remember my high school graduation, when I was in SS3, what we call SS3 in Nigeria, but I think in the US it's called grade 12, right? Yeah, grade 12. I was in 12th grade. At the end of my graduation, I was 100 kg. That's 100 kilograms, which is about 220 pounds. And that was a lot for someone of my age. I mean, in Nigeria, being 220 pounds like is a lot. And it just tells you how I grew over time, being the overweight child or overweight baby to being big, like really big. And I was tall, or I'm tall, so it makes me very distinctive. Like, I wish I could stand, that I'm gonna attach pictures here in this video for you to see what I look like when I stand for you. And from that, I grew from being 100 kg. I know that after my secondary school, I attended an A-levels program. In my A-levels program, it was stressful, a lot of academic rigor and all of that, and I lost 35 kg, which was about 78 pounds roughly. And I had to cut down from 100 kg to 65 kg. So from 220 pounds, I became about 140 pounds. Really? So that was really good. That was really good. So when I came back from the program, it was like a year program. A lot of people were like, what? You lost weight? Oh my God, you are slim now. Is this you? And I was like, this is me. What is wrong? Because you know, there's a way you don't really know how much you have come, except you really like put your old self beside your new self to compare. Rather than that, you think you're still the same kind of person, right? So that was that, and I lost a lot of weight. But because this thing is genetic, right? I soon became comfortable again, and I started gaining weight slowly, and before I knew it again, I was big again, but not as big as 100 kg. I think I was about 80 kg at the time, and yeah, that was after I gained more weight after the program and all of that. And then the next milestone for me was COVID. COVID hit in 2020, right? 2019, 2020, but 2020 to be precise, there was lockdown, and I think I didn't go out for almost 1 year. That was about 9 months, I guess. And I was indoors all through, eating, drinking, and sleeping. No church, no school, no work. Everyone was locked down. Everyone was locked up at home, locked down, right? And it was a lot. I had a lot to eat. Funny thing is, I did a lot of spiritual exercise during COVID. Like, I did a lot of prayers and Bible study, but trust me, I ate a lot too. I ate a lot. So during COVID, I added weight so much that I became 116 kg. That was the end of 2020. So I came out like every other person came out after the lockdown, and people were like, what happened, Ayo? And I'm like, what's wrong with me? And that was when I had to take an old picture of mine with the new look to compare. And it dawned on me that I had gained so much weight. And that was the beginning of a genesis. That was the genesis of a beginning for me. Now I had to live with my new skin, with my new body. It was funny. I want to laugh so hard right now, but I don't want to take time too much. So it was so funny. Like, wearing certain dresses that couldn't fit anymore. Your jeans couldn't fit, your tops. Everything didn't fit. I had to shop for new dresses, and that was really bad because the stores I used to go to, 116 kg by the way is about 250 pounds. Yeah. So the shops or the stores I used to go to shop, things weren't fitting anymore. So I had to find new stores, new shops. And I now became that person that if you want to shop and you go to a store, they're like, do we have your size? I'm like, the heck? You should have my size. At first, I was really defensive about it. You should have my size. But I later found out that not all stores do plus size. And I had to live with it. I can't shop from every store. It was a lot, right? I had to live with it, get better, build my self-esteem more. I decided to invest in more clothing than other clothing and all of that. And then this street bully in Nigeria continued. So it was more like you go on the road and a random stranger is like, what? How did you get this big? Are you business? What's your business? But nobody minds their business in Nigeria, really. Nobody minds their business in Nigeria, both online and offline. So if you're plus size, you have a lot of people to deal with. It wasn't the best of experiences, I'm not gonna lie. But moving down to the US, relocating to the US again, being introduced to new foods, more junks, more flour-infused foods. It was a lot more. Then I added weight again. And I found myself being about 140 something kilograms. I remember when I first got to being 290 pounds. That day I went to see my doctor for an appointment for something minor, and I was asked to step on the scale. So of course she stepped on the scale and I saw my weight and I was like, what? That's not my weight, because I was 290 pounds. I was like, that's not me. And they were like, that was about 130 something kg, and I was like, and they were like, that's you. I'm like, that's not me. And then that is you. And that was a light bulb moment for me, because what? How did you become 290 kg and 90 pounds, right? Rather. And I remember talking to my doctor. I went for a different thing and I had to talk to my doctor what? Please, you need to talk to me about this. How can I lose weight? This is. Mind you, I tried many things before then. Don't forget, it's genetic. So a lot of things that work for people did not work for me. So it was more like the same cycle, rolling and rolling and rolling, right? This is me now. Look at me. This is what I look like. How beautiful I am. Now, then my doctor said the usual things: watch your calories, do a lot of jogging, exercise, take walk, all of that. I tried them, but as soon as for example, let me give you an practical example. Let's say I take walks, 10,000 steps a day. I do jogging, I reduce my carb intake. Let's say I take a 2-day break. I realized that I add back all of the weight I lost, or almost all. And that was so devastating to me. Doing something for 2 weeks and a 2-day break is gonna destroy everything. And I was like, I don't think I can go on with this. So that was the first setback I had in my weight loss journey. Now, I'm going to talk about misconceptions that people have about fat, plus-sized, chubby, obese people. Now, the first thing is, especially if you're a lady in Nigeria, particularly, because this video is struggles of living in Nigeria as a plus-size or a fat person, right? I need you to understand that marriage is not everything. Marriage is not everything. Marriage is an aspect of life. but not your whole life. Now, this is what I mean that. I remember growing up, when my parents saw that I was really getting big, at different points, my parents would call me with love in their heart, like so much love and sincerity and honesty. They would be like, my daughter, babe, I want you to like watch your weight, because many men do not want plus size ladies. I want you to watch your weight because when your husband or your husband to be decides to take you to his family, they might have problems with you. I want you to watch your weight so that you can settle with the man of your dreams and not be limited in your selection. And I knew that for many years, I grew up with the notion of I want to lose weight so that I can get a good man to marry me. Growing up, I realized that, hello, marriage is just one aspect of life, and there is a man for everybody. Same as there's a woman for everybody. Especially if you're a believer in Christ Jesus. Your husband, your wife is in Christ, not what anybody says. As big as you think you are, there's a man that's going to love you for who you are, for what you wear, for how you look, for what you do, for who you are. So marriage is not everything. You're not supposed to lose weight for people, spouse, husband, wife. Because this video is not just to women, but even to men. You're not supposed to lose weight because you want to find a partner. You're supposed to lose weight for yourself. For yourself, because you want to lose the weight. Not because anybody says, oh, so that you can get the best woman in town, get the best man. No. That's a misconception. That fat people do not get good spouses. That is wrong. You see this? You see this? I'm happily married. Like, happily married. And my husband loves me for who I am. You get what I'm saying? So, it's a misconception that fat people are limited in their choices. You know, we actually, the more you look, the more you see. It is where you look, or how do I say this? What you look into is what you see. If you think that many men do not like plus size ladies, it's because you're around many men that do not like plus size ladies. There's another environment where many men like plus size ladies. You know what I'm saying? As I say, your man or your husband is in Christ, because Christ is going to be the one to relocate you to that location, or is going to bring the man to where you are. So that's one. Now, the second misconception is every fat person, every obese person is unhealthy or has health problems. Y'all will not cease to amaze me. I'm a healthy fat person. I'm an example. Now, this is not to shade or be insensitive to anybody that has health issues, whether you're slim or you're fat. See, that could be a byproduct of your being overweight. No shade, really. But the fact is, there are a lot of slim or tiny or slim-sized people that are sick. So there is nothing like how fat you are determines how sick you are. I remember when I went to the US and I had to meet my doctor for the very first time. She had to run a series of tests on me because she was scared for me, like, you're big, like this. Now, not scared like she had never seen someone as big as me, no, but because she just felt like there's this stereotype that everybody as big as my weight at the time had certain diseases. And so she ran a series of tests on me, and I remember that she was like, girl, you're the healthiest obese person I've ever seen. That was her exact words. You're the healthiest obese person I've ever seen. Now, it means that not every fat person out there is unhealthy. Some fat people are healthier than some slim people. I know at some point, yes, true, I did a test and I realized I had a high cholesterol level, but I had to do certain things to reduce my cholesterol level. Maybe I'll do that for another video. And that was it. And after that, no other issues. Yes, there was one time also that I had knee issues, and I was recommended a number of exercises to do for my knee pain, and now I no longer have knee issues, right? Not every fat person is unhealthy. There are a lot of healthy fat people. And the fact that a person is fat does not mean that is the reason they are sick. A lot of slim people are sick. Get that? That's a misconception. Now, another misconception is every fat person is lazy. And every fat person that you see outside was unintentional about their size. That's why they got that big. I don't know if you get this. So because you see someone fat and you're like, what did you look at? Where were you looking that you got this big? Yoruba will say, kilo wo to fi to bayi. Means, what exactly was your attention on that made you go this big? Like, were you not concentrating on your body? Now, it's a misconception to think the person did nothing and they got that fat. You need to realize that many fat people have these things in their genes. And this leads me to saying we have different body forms. There are people that are endomorphs, like I am. There are ectomorphs and there are mesomorphs. Now, an endomorph is someone who their body digests glucose or carbs in a much slower way, or it takes more days for their body to ingest and digest carbs. While an ectomorph, their body digests and ingests carbs easily. A mesomorph, their body does it like on an average way. That's why sometimes it looks like you're plus sized or you're fat and someone else is slim, and two of you eat the same quantity of food every time, but you keep getting fatter, the person keeps getting slimmer. Or sometimes the slim person eats more and you're wondering, why is your body different? Because the person is probably an ectomorph. There are certain diseases that come that fatness or being obese comes as a package with. For example, if you have PCOS, you're likely going to be overweight, right? Because your hormones are imbalanced. So you're not just insensitive. If you're someone that is always insensitive, you're not just insensitive to say whatever you like or to think everybody is unintentional about their body types. At the same time, what works for A might never work for B. So weight loss journeys are peculiar to the individuals on the journey. The fact that your brother lost weight by jumping or doing skipping or jump roping or rope jumping, whatever, does not mean your sister is going to lose weight the exact way. It just might not work. So be sensitive, and that's a misconception. Another misconception is every fat person is not smart or not fit. Where do you all get your narratives from, please? That's a lie. That's a lie. The fact is, growing up, one of the comments or one of the compliments or remarks that people say a lot is, you are fit. And that's because you could actually be fat and fit. Fat and fit can be in the same sentence, and I mean it. Not every fat person is unfit. Not every fat person cannot walk fast. Not every fat person cannot climb stairs. Does it make sense? So it's a misconception that every fat person cannot walk fast or cannot climb stairs. I mean, where do you all get funny narratives from? Another misconception is every fat person eats a lot. My husband eats way more than I do. And my husband is not half as fat as I am. Not every fat person eats a lot. Not every. There are many fat people that do not eat a lot, but because of their genetics, because of their makeup, they are fat. And there are many slim people that eat a lot and they are not fat. I mean, so that's a misconception. This is not a misconception, really. This is like unrealistic. Is especially Nigeria. You expect somebody to have big boobs or big breasts, to have a big bum or a round bum, and a very flat stomach, slim arms, slim legs, but curvy thighs. Please, where do you all watch movies from? Because I think this is something unrealistic that many African or Nigerian ladies have used as a yardstick to determine if they are sexy or if they are good looking or not. So you want to have big boobs, big bum, tiny waist, flat stomach, slim arms, slim legs, but curvy thighs, shapey. What? Most likely, people that have perfect, in quotes, figures like that or shapes like that, most times they have gone through surgical operations. Maybe liposuction or liposuction, or maybe BBL, or weight loss surgery. But you want your woman not to go through BBL, liposuction, BBL, whatever, and you want her to be perfect. Okay, they play my fan. At the same time, there are people that are really blessed with good and perfect, in quotes, statures like that, or shapes like that. It might actually be because they are very intentional about certain exercise activities, or they do not eat certain types of foods. So if someone is an endomorph, for example, that has a very high tendency to be fat, and the person is intentional about taking a walk 3 hours daily, you can expect that that person will most likely have a more curvy stature than someone who is also overweight and does not do that. So it comes with a price. Now, most times, naturally, if you have a big bum, you're most likely going to have a big belly. Or you have a big bum, you're most likely not going to have a big breasts or big boobs. So let's be realistic in our desires. As a man, don't ever want a Barbie doll as a wife. Be realistic. Don't say, why is your belly this fat? So sorry, should she cut it out for you? As a woman, don't make yourself, don't be agitated because you want to emphasize this perfect body in quotes. I think this is one of the things that the media has done more harm, or this is one of the areas where the media has been more harmful than being good, portraying certain body types as the perfect body type. Who told you that hourglass shape is the perfect shape? Who told you that a mesomorph is the perfect body form? Media. Because you see it. You see women that have big bums, big breasts, flat stomach. You see them. Many men say, oh, that's my type of woman. How many people really are around you that have that type of shape? Does that not tell you a lot? These are unrealistic fantasies. I hope you know better now. Another misconception is that all plus size people are dirty and have bad hygiene. What? Like what? A lot of dirty people, or there are people that have body odor. It might be natural, it might not even be nonchalant that causes or unintentionality about your body. Some people just have natural body odor, or odor rather, the H factor. Me being a Nigerian, a Yoruba girl, odor. Now I know a lot of people like that, and also there are people that are very slim that sweat a lot, and yet they smell. But thinking every fat person is dirty is a misconception, the biggest misconception of all times. Like, what? I smell good. I invest in cologne. I invest in perfume. I invest in body spray. I invest in deodorant. And I do not have natural body odor. This is not to shade anyone that has natural body odor. If you have natural body odor, I advise that you find something that works for you and find the best way to manage it. We all have things that we're not happy with or that we're not comfortable with, to find a way to manage yours. But I say it and I put it to you that not every plus sized person or fat person or chubby person or obese person is dirty. And that's on period. Being slim is shameful. How would you feel if I said that? I mean, where do we get this narrative from? And I think a lot of Nigerians think the same way. That if you are plus size, you should be ashamed of yourself. Why, please? A plus size person is as normal as a slim person. A chubby person or chubby person is as normal as a tiny person or thin person. You need to understand that we come in different packages, different sizes, different forms, different shapes. And so, it's not a shameful thing. I could as well say if you are slim, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, why would you be this slim? You know, the thing here is, I think people that are slim and are very insensitive with words, many times they think they're the ones that know how to talk the best. You have not met me. I married an Ibadan man, and an Ibadan man talks. So I've learned that from him. Meet me and say what? My husband is here shaking his head like, what? Baby, I featured on this. And Ibadan man has taught me how to fight for myself with words. You think you know how to talk? Come and meet me. Let's have a word contest. I'm a believer, but I'm going to fight for my rights because God created me where I am, and I am perfect in the image of Him that created me. So you need to get that straight. Now, people like that think they can talk anyhow and they think they have the best words in their mouth. You're saying you're spewing rubbish, sorry to say, and I'm not sorry. You're spewing nonsense. You see someone plus size, you see someone fat, and you're like, what? What are you now doing to yourself? You don't look good. Oh my God. Your thighs, your stretch marks, they're not sexy, they're not pleasant. You think you are sexy? You think you look good? Let's go together to Paris for Fashion Week and let's see who is going to get more customers to order a dress. You think you're sexy? Come on, you can do better. Don't be insensitive with words. So someone being fat should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, what? And this is not just for a lady or for women or females. Even men go through this. Plus-sized men go through this. You see a man that is big or plus-sized and someone is saying, see your pot belly. What are you doing about it? What is your business? How is that your problem? You know what I've noticed? Most times when you see people talk like this, they are insecure in their own bodies. And so they try to make other people feel insecure. I remember one time that my pastor posted a picture of myself and my husband, and someone made a very insensitive and stupid comment and said something like, my husband is overdoing or passing his boundary or something. And I love my pastor for one thing. He will never let you slide when you say an insensitive thing. It's going to give you a size. And I implore my plus size people, always have your size ready. When anybody comes and spew what they're not supposed to spew, be bold. Give them their size. Give them their size. Because they think they are very smart or they know the right words to say. Now I know the Bible says follow peace with all men. But the fact remains that you need to also caution people. Because many people are so insensitive that if they say something bad to you today, you don't react. They say it tomorrow, you don't react. They make you a laughing stock. And if they understand that you are vulnerable in that aspect of your life, they keep coming at you with that. So you need to be intentional about giving people their sizes. When I say sizes, I mean talk back. Say words too. You don't have to be abusive like they are. You don't have to say defamatory statements, but also let them realize that they are not also perfect. And you love yourself for the way you are. You have a great stature and you're perfect to yourself. I think I need to say that. I remember one time I was going with my husband, we're going out, we're just taking a stroll somewhere, and someone was shouting like, ha! This man, do you want to kill yourself? You're carrying an overweight. This is overload for you. I trust my husband. I'm not going to tell you what he said, but my husband, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me because that man's going to come for you. That man's going to come for you. And so, I just want to say that if you're plus size, don't just let people do the talking. Also talk. Like plus size people. We're in this together. Now, at some point when I got fat, or when I started adding so much weight, I started wearing dress of size 24. You heard that right. Size 24. Now I wear size 20 like perfectly. I wear size 20 perfectly. Some size 18s are fit for me. Some, not all. Some size 18s are fit for me. And at first when I was wearing size 24, it was a lot. Like there were just few stores that I could get dresses from or get jeans from. I started. I don't want to mention brand names because they're not paying me for this. But I started shopping certain brands. Maybe I'm going to do another video of what brands I wear. Usually being a plus size person living in the US. And that was a lot for me. Really, it was a lot. But I came to my senses back at some point and I was like, girl, you are confident. You are just perfect the way you are. You are beautiful. You are charming. You are sweet. Look at me. Like, take a look at me. Ain't I sweet, baby? Of course I am sweet. So if you think I'm not sweet and you have a problem with yourself, fix that problem. Don't try to fix mine. And that's on period. So you need to understand that you have to have a healthy self-esteem for yourself before you could actually exude healthy self-esteem. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. I didn't get here in one day. I know one person asked me recently, someone asked me recently, like, Ayo, how are you doing? How are you this confident? And I'm like, girl, I am confident. confident as heaven. Jesus lives inside of me. So what are you talking about? Right? I didn't get here one day. I remember certain times when, even if I got married to my husband, we're already dating. My husband has never, let me now say this. My husband has never ever made me feel bad in my body. He has never ever put me on a pedestal of, girl, you have to lose this weight and this. Never. Except I tell him, babe, I want to do this for myself. Maybe I want to fit into a dress for my birthday shoot. I'm like, babe, I want you to be my accountability partner. That's when he's going to check on me and be like, what did you eat today? This and this and this. Not him trying to say that because he feels like he's uncomfortable being around me, or he's not safe around me, or he's insecure around me. Nah. So you also have to surround yourself with the right people while you're trying to build body positivity. I know people make body positivity confined to only plus size people, because even slim people need body positivity. But this video is for plus size people. So slim people, sorry, I'm not for you today. Body positivity, while you're building a healthy self-esteem, do away with people that will talk down on you. Do away with people that will make you look down on yourself. Do away with people that will always say bad things about you. Do not marry a person that always says, did you just add some weight? Nah, that dress doesn't look good on you. What? Don't. If it's a family member that is always trying to get on your nerves, and when I say get on your nerves, I mean they're not checking on you too because they care about you. They're trying to do it to talk you down or make you feel insecure. Let them know. Talk. Don't you ever talk to me that way again. Don't you dare. Right? I lost weight from size 24. I told you to be in size 20 now. And I feel good in my body. But I didn't do it for anybody. I didn't do it for the world. I didn't do it for the society. I did it for me. And I have my personal reasons. Why I did that. It's not because every day I wake up, I'm scared that someone is going to say, oh, you're not beautiful. I'm not beautiful. And especially because I have a good fashion sense, a great fashion sense at that. So I wear stuff that elevates my body features. So I know how to combine stuff that makes me look good. So I'm not scared because of that. But I did it for some personal reasons, which I'm not going to be sharing in this video. Lose weight for you. You could have personal reasons, like maybe you want to be so weight by your 30th birthday, for example. I want to be 200 pounds. You could do that for you. And let me just put this out there. My highest weight so far is 330 pounds. Yeah, I've been 330 pounds before. So I know what I'm saying. Now, do it for you. Do it maybe because this might be sensitive, but I mean it. I'm married, so I can say this. You could do it because you want to enjoy sex better. You could do it because you want to wear a certain designer dress that their size stops at so size. You could do it because you want to join maybe the army, because I know the army or certain jobs, or if you're an actor or an actress, requires certain bodies that you might need to get into to fit into the role for that perfectly. But I mean, do it for you. Be willing to do it for you, not for anybody. Because when you do it for that person and they keep also saying something wrong about that thing, you feel like you've never achieved anything, which is a wrong mentality to have. So do it for you, because no matter what stature you are, anybody you think has the best stature, go ask them. You would realize that someone somewhere has talked down on their bodies before. So you can never satisfy anybody. Someone has a big boobs, someone is going to say, I hate people with big boobs. Someone has a small stomach, someone will say, oh, I wish your body, I could squeeze your belly. That's what I like. So you want to do this for people, you would be on a long thing. You would never be satisfied with yourself. Do it for you. Now, there are things where you could make conscious decisions to be healthy. Really. Conscious decisions to be healthy could be as conscious as reducing fizzy drinks or carbonated drinks. I remember last year September, I decided to stop taking carbonated drinks totally, and I cut it out completely. I did that for about 5 months before I had the next fizzy drink. Yeah, so you can make conscious decisions like that. You can make conscious decisions. I stopped taking sugar at some point. I replaced with sweetener, like 0-calorie sweeteners. Those are conscious decisions. You could decide that you want to take more walks. You could decide that you want to swim more. You could decide that you want to eat less, do portion control, count your calories. These are conscious decisions for you to be healthy. Now, being healthy is different from being on a weight loss journey. You could lose weight and not be healthy. You could be slim and not be healthy. And you could be fat and be healthy. Being healthy is the goal. Being fit is the goal, right? So you can make conscious decisions to be healthy, not just to lose weight. Now, you could also be healthy and keep adding weight because you're eating healthy foods that have more calories. These are things you want to work on while you make your decision. So whatever your goal is, weight loss, healthy, being fit, being stronger, being more intentional, being sexier, make sure you do things that would fit into your goal. Don't just do things based on generalization, right? So do not put yourself on a high pedestal. And when those things are not working or you're not losing as fast as someone who you saw did the same thing, don't think you're failing. For example, for me, going to the gym for me didn't really work for me. Now, I'm not saying I stopped doing exercises completely. Now, I do certain exercises, but I do not go to the gym as often as I used to go at some point. There was a time I went to the gym every single day. Like every single day. I'll lift weights, I'll do cardio, do press-ups, do planks and all of that. Yeah, I still do planks sometimes, not as frequent as I used to. But what I'm saying is, I noticed that going to the gym alone wasn't working for me. What worked for me, I'm not going to say in this video, maybe I'll do it in another video, but at some point when I went to the gym, maybe 5 days a week, and on the 6th and 7th day I don't go to gym, I noticed I add weight back, and that was so discouraging. And I noticed that was because I was comparing my gym results to that of someone else or someone else's. So you need to understand that what works for A is different from B. Your body type, your body form, your body shape is different. So explore your body. Know what exercises work the best for you. Know what you could do easily. For me, I love doing jumping jacks. I could do like 100 jumping jacks without flinching. And so I think I do more jumping jacks than any other exercise. If you think that's a lazy exercise, that's all your business. Now, one of the major reasons why you have to have a healthy self-esteem for yourself is because even on your weight loss journey or your healthy journey, sometimes you might fail. Sometimes you might be sad. Sometimes you might feel like giving up. Sometimes you might feel like it's not worth it. If those times you are not confident, you could easily go back to eating unconsciously to pacify yourself. So when you're confident, even when you don't feel like losing weight, at that point you can decide to take a break or pause. That's the fact. As long as there are no health issues attached, you can decide to take a break or pause and decide, see, I just want to pause for the next 1-2 weeks and I will get back on track. But because you know you're confident, you're okay, you're happy with yourself, you're not on a rush, you're not trying to force yourself to get so result into so days, right? The last thing I would say is don't just be gentle when someone is trying to get on your nerves. Give them back to 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 back. Someone comes and says, your head is too big. I remember one time I went to a Nigerian hair salon and the hairdresser kept complaining and saying, this head is big. Do you know what? I had to look at her now because I was looking at her in the mirror and I had to look at her and say, if you do not want to make my hair, I suggest you leave it right now and let me leave. And that was it, and she stopped. Because why would you keep complaining and complaining and complaining because I want to make my hair? Did I create my head? So there are people that will try to make you, or you go to a tailor shop or a fashion designer and they're like, this bum, this waist, this hips, this, it's too big. My tape rule is finished. What's your problem? You have to also be like told. Don't just let people walk over you and say whatever they want to say. You understand? A lot of these are going to come with you living in Nigeria, especially being in Nigeria. But I want to tell you that you can only do this by being confident in yourself, by being around people that love you for who you are and make you feel good and make you feel better. Always be positive about your body. I hope you enjoyed so much about this video.